One is that the U.S. wants to burn the boats, go isolationist, get rid of the petrodollar, because then they can price oil however they want to give themselves an advantage within their own society, to be an export nation, and basically turtle in, F the world, not police the planet anymore. Of course, this will backfire because somebody has to, in order to maintain the global waterways and all that. So it's a very confusing predicament. So I'm still on the fence as to whether or not that's the goal. The other goal is to continue to keep the Russians out and maintain control of Europe, to keep Europe subjugated, to keep the euro subjugated. If the Russian energy empowers European industry, that's a recipe for disaster. I mean, that's the end of the United States as the global hegemon. That's what a lot of people don't get into, but there's definitely a lot of truth to that. Now, in addition to that, it's also important to understand that the Russians are going to be, they're going to be amplifying any morsel of a positive diplomacy that occurs between them and the United States to appease their own population. Not because it's actually true that peace negotiations are going well. The Kremlin has declined to state whether or not Trump and Putin have had a phone call yet. Of course, they're very judicious, unlike Trump, who just blurts out that they did have a phone call. Some people don't necessarily believe that that happened, or that if it did, maybe the phone call didn't go so well. I'm getting the sense that it probably didn't, because this is, like I say, very out of character for Trump to just leave some breadcrumbs and not provide more information with the adulation you would expect from him in those circumstances, especially with such a big arrow issue, right? Anyways, so Ukraine Special Services with Russian support are preparing a series of high-profile provocations to implicate Moscow and draw NATO into a direct military confrontation, according to the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service. In a statement on Tuesday, the SVR claimed that Kiev plans to use Russian-made naval mines to orchestrate an explosion involving a foreign vessel in the Baltic Sea. The alleged goal is to blame Moscow and prompt NATO to restrict Russia's access to the Baltic on the pretext of ensuring maritime security. Now, you can bet that because Ukraine doesn't have access to the Baltic, at least not directly, that this would be something primarily orchestrated by Western nations, as was the case with